This is the Tentacle Pro, spelled tentacle with a trademark. It is a tripod wraparound suction cup mount, primarily for cell phones, but it has a 1/4x20 screw so you can put pretty much any type of small camera on it. I was getting this to look at because I'm looking for a wraparound mount that wraps around things, and I thought the suction cups were a little bit of a gimmick. But then I pushed them against the packaging here, and just against that plastic packaging, they're holding on pretty darn well. So I'm going to give the suction cups a chance to prove themselves to me as well. Now, I received this to review for free. If you wanted to buy it, it would cost you $30. I have not been paid for my review, and my opinions are my own. So this is definitely not frustration-free packaging. We have a nicely designed little instruction book. Okay, and there's the actual device. It has this universal cell phone clip here that spreads out pretty darn far. I think just about any cell phone fit. It's pretty wide there, so I think you could fit that with most cases as well. And they fold down to get out of the way a little bit. There is a 1/4x20 mount here, so you could conceptually mount this instead of on the back like it's mounted now. You could mount it from the bottom. And they have a ring on this screw you can use to turn the screw to make it easier to tighten that up. So now you know you could have this guy that way, for example. So there's 3 suction cups on each arm, plus one in the middle. If you bend the arms all the way out, you could potentially get that middle suction cup attaching to something. And then there's this 4th arm, which allows you to position things in different angles. And it is quite stiff. It's taking a decent amount of muscle to move these guys. You know, it doesn't feel like they're going to come loose from whatever position you put them in, so it's quite sturdy. Alright, that guy is suctioned in there really well. You can adjust the phone many different angles. I want to break my mirror here, but yeah, that's just fine. Let's see about getting it off. Okay, now they do say don't use only one arm on the thing you're sticking it to. Use at least 2 arms on the thing you're sticking it to. And then they say, well, you can also, you know, stick your device, if you have a glass device, you can stick the device on suction cups and do it that way. I think I would prefer to use the included little phone clip here, but you can theoretically, if you had, you know, a glass back on your device, you can stick it to these suction cups on one of the arms. Also, if you want to prop up a larger device, you can fold it into a shape like this and then set your device approximately where you want it, push the suction cups in, and it will stay attached to your device and work as a stand. I'm not sure if I would trust this to hold this device just up in the air. It's holding pretty well. Oh, there's one suction cup came off, so I think this is more of a stand where if the suction cup comes off, it just kind of flips over a little, doesn't fall on the ground. You do get a little bit of suction cup marks on your device. So by bending the legs into a tripod shape, you can position it as a tabletop tripod and hold your device. You know, it's very flexible. You can change orientation easily. The only comment I have here is that the arms are relatively short, and so this is as high as it gets. So yeah, I could see this for mounting a device to a vehicle. Yeah, that was on there pretty good, so as long as you had a light device, I don't think that would pop off. Yeah, these suction cups are growing on me. I start looking around and seeing more and more smooth, flat surfaces I could potentially use as a camera mounting point. Because that thing sticks on there pretty darn well. So now we're getting to the usage I was kind of imagining, which is wrap this thing around something to hold your camera. And that works pretty darn well there too. Adjust that, set it up, put your phone up, and now you have a vantage point off of this guy. And it's not going anywhere until you unhook that. Yeah, so I got this guy just wrapped around a doorknob. It's just, you know, hanging out there. It's a little wiggly because the doorknob is wiggly, but it's actually, you know, very solid. If the doorknob wasn't wiggling around, it would be very solid. Here I've got just around a pretty narrow piece of shelving. I only have 2 of the arms wrapped around. This third arm is just kind of stabilizing. You know, so this guy, you can wrap it around just about any pipe or knob or, you know, thing that sticks around, has holes through it. It does a pretty good job of gripping onto it even without using the suction cups. Alright, I think I can recommend this guy. The cell phone clamp is nothing special, but it's a little bit nicer than a lot of the little cell phone clamps I've seen. The suction cups work really well, surprisingly well to me. I got this because I was looking for a grippy tripod that you can kind of, you know, wrap around things, and it works really well for that. But also, I've been looking around and seeing all these flat, solid surfaces that are non-porous that I can stick this thing to as well. Especially if you're doing anything with automobiles, I could see this being, you know, very, very useful, or mirrors, you know. So it also has added functionality of, you know, you can kind of flip it around and stick another device to it and use it kind of as a prop-up stand. You can, of course, use it as a tabletop tripod. I think it's a little short for that. I've seen better options for tabletop tripods that unfold and expand a little bit more than this guy. But I think the sweet spot here is the grippy tripod or sticky tripod. You know, it kind of combines the suction cup mounts and the grippy mounts all into one device. And you know, there's a lot of flexibility with the 4th arm for positioning this anywhere you want it. And you can take these off and use other accessories on it if you'd like. So I've been pretty happy with this. I think at this price point it's a pretty good deal.